Warning! D-Day is here! What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTVpodcast for iZombie, Season 3, Episode 12. 13? Episode 12 or 13? I don't know.
13.
Looking for Mr. Goodbrain, Part 2. I'm your host, Dom. With me, we have Kim and Nikki.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going.
It's going. So
I'm actually, this episode, I felt like there should be more. I felt like I could go for another couple more episodes.
What the hell?
Oh my god!
What the hell?
Thank you for cliffhanger from hell.
Yeah.
Okay, so not only does the entire world know about zombies, but we don't know if Ravi's a zombie or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because we don't know what the cure he made.
Yeah,
His chiclet cure.
It was a vaccination. So it's like a preemptive strike against the zombie virus. That's what he made. It wasn't a cure.
Right.
So
it's preventative measures for people to not become zombies. Does not reverse zombieism.
So I have a feeling it's going to work at first. And then the zombie strain is going to mutate again, and it's going to be like every other freaking virus or bacteria or, anything, sickness that we get. Like the cold and the flu, it mutates every year. That's why they give us vaccinations every year.
But, so, with that aside, though, this ending with half of Seattle becoming zombies and the world knowing about zombies literally changes this show forever.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I don't know if that's for the good or for the bad. It is way too soon to tell. We have to see what they do next season before we can actually, fairly assess that. Like, we can make our predictions of how it's going to do all we want, but until we actually see next season, we cannot properly judge that.
I like how well prepared they were. Like, he was like, it was just like, wow.
Chase?
Yeah. And that...
Well, they've been planning on D-Day.
Yeah.
Like, they kept saying this whole time, D-Day's coming, D-Day's coming. So, of course, with them propagating the D-Day's coming, whether or not they're the cause of it, they had to have something in place, so it's not like, oh, guys, D-Day's here, let's panic and throw this together last minute. This is something that... This video, I guarantee you, he recorded, maybe months ago.
I don't feel like that was...
Yeah, I think it was...
Or at least the speech was written out months ago.
Yeah, I feel like... Because they did have Plan B. That was Plan B, what happened. And he didn't want to do Plan B, but it was because of Kerry Gold that he had to go through with it. So he probably, as soon... Knowing that there was a Plan B, he had... And his sister... She was the one that was ahead of it at first. Once she was gone, he probably knew that he probably had to do things like that and prepare extra because bitches like Kerry Gold were going to come up out of nowhere. And she did say that she wasn't the only one. So I have a feeling that even though he's tried to clean this up the best he can and try to make it a good situation, there's going to be other zombie people that are gonna try to extend this and make it so like it was like he said, okay, we're gonna change all the people who are sick with the illusion flu, and we're gonna make them into zombies so they don't die because there's no way to fix this flu. You get it, you're dead. Simple as that. And the whole point, like Carrie was doing it, was to get a better, to get more brains to eat.
Right.
And he made it so that people just didn't die, and they were going to get brains from the dead, just like they were doing all along.
Yeah.
I thought, like, I really liked all that concept of the end there. The whole kind of like preparing. It's almost like addition you see is, how everyone talks about this preparing the zombie apocalypse, and all the jokes we make and all the different stuff and all the movies of them, rampaging and, preparing to kill zombies. This is the other side of what the possibility of what if they were more human-like than they were monsters.
Yeah.
So I think this is the whole kind of different take on the whole zombie apocalypse thing, and I think I like it. Like, it's pretty cool.
It is the human side that is the one that's rampaging and trying to destroy at that point.
Being the monsters.
Yeah.
You see the zombies, they just want to eat. They want their brains, whatever. And you see Fillmore Graves supplying them with the suppliers around the world and all that. But it's the humans, that are running in. They're quick to, A, not understand what's going on, B, not care, and C, destroy anything that is different. But at the same time, can you blame them? Because zombies are contained to Seattle at the moment. But
yeah, I'm sure there are some sprinkled all over the place.
At any time, zombies have the chance to end the world. Just remember that, right? So they have every right.
It's not good for the zombies to do that, though, because once their food source is gone, they are done as well. So they kind of have to think it through.
There's been movies out there that kind of address it. Daybreakers, I think, is a very
it's a good,
specific example. It's about vampires. But it's the same thing. Vampires use humans as a source of food. But that is when the world exists, when almost the entire world are vampires and there's no humans left.
They have to harvest what little humans they have left. They have to
drag out their lives slowly, drain them of blood.
Yes.
Well, that, and then what they synthesized, was it like a fake version or whatever, some shit.
Yeah. And
it's been a while since I saw the movie.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've seen the movie. But with that, it's a little different because vampires can slowly drain a person of blood and survive. Zombies, it's a one-off deal. Like, you have to kill the person. The person has to be dead for them to eat the brains to, There's no, I'm just going to eat a little bit of your brain, unless you're like Hannibal Lecter or something, and feed somebody their own brain. But, usually eating brains is a consequence of death. You're going to wipe out your food source. But, at the same time, you may not have control over that. You yourself is like, I need food, so I'm not going to I'm not going to kill or turn all these people. But you have another zombie that's like, oh, but this is my friend, and my friend's sick, and they're going to die, I'm going to turn them into a zombie. And then it's just the ripple effect of that person wants to fix their family and their friends, and before you know it, it's out of control, and everybody is a zombie. Like, you don't really have the foresight of saying, yes, I have to protect my food. The zombies literally have the means to end the world.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big conflict for next season. That's why next season is going to be interesting. The series creator, the producers, what's his name? Rob Thomas. He's stating right now they're talking in the writers' room and stuff how they're going to approach next season, and he said this has never been done before, having zombies and humans coexist living together in a city. Like, that's never been done on TV, movie, anything. It's been the zombie outbreak and humans running and hiding and dying, but not cohabitated living together. Never been done before. So that is interesting going into next season. It really is.
I feel like
think of it being like the predator living beside the food.
Yeah.
like Zootopia.
Yeah.
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 Exactly like Zootopia.
Yeah. Let's go G with this and say Zootopia, because the predators live with the prey all the damn time. Yeah. No, I feel like next season, because iZombie does originate from a comic book, and it's more than just zombies in the comic books, and I've been saying it for the last 3 seasons. They need to implement more of what's going on. I think now that zombies have come out, everything else is going to now too. Like they're going to be like, well, we've existed even longer and we've been right beside you the whole time, you know? And it's going to be even more of a conflict because
All of a sudden, the world's gonna know they're supernatural things, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Mhm.
Yeah. But with the brain, like you think the food source and everything, and a direct quote from Rob Thomas said, will there be a brain source? It was asked if there will be a brain source in Seattle. And he said, in Seattle, Chase Graves has told America, give us your brains, and we're going to start season 4 with a celebrity commercial reminding Americans to sign their brain donor cards. I think Chase Graves says if just 1 in 10 Americans donate their brains, everything is fine and dandy. I did the math on this. I actually sat down, and I don't know how good my math is, but I did rough it out with the death rates and tried to actually figure out how many brains they would need. So if 1 in 10 Americans donates their brains, Seattle should be able to operate just fine. In fact, episode 401, the first one back, because I want to illustrate it for the TV audience, we're going to open on a montage of how the whole brain system works, starting with a guy dying, showing the brain harvesting, showing it going into a shipping container, showing it getting to Seattle, going into a brain processing plant, getting put into a brain tube, going to a dispensary, going to a zombie with a brain card, and being consumed. I think it's important that the audience knows how it's supposed to work.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be interesting.
I feel like we're gonna it's gonna go on a True Blood spin, like where they're synthesizing
Synthesizing
blood.
brain.
Yeah.
I can synthesize it. It's like cloning, like when they grow an ear, grow brain. I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah. As Red Bandit mentions in chat, why would Major go back to being a zombie? He was cured.
Okay.
He lost a bunch of his friends.
Yeah.
He lost this girl he thought he was gonna run away with. His life has
Mhm.
kind of been going down a big, long shithole slowly.
And Fillmore Graves kicked him out because he was human. He felt like he belonged there. And like Kim said, he lost all of his friends. He lost Natalie, who he was going to run away with, go live in London or wherever she was going to live. Like he was planning to live a life after, like, get away from zombies. But even though he was cured, he realized that, where he belonged. And even though that was going back to being a zombie, that's what made sense to him.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, like, even when I was watching, I was like, no, Major, come on, don't be stupid. But I think about it, and logically for Major, because of everything he's gone through, becoming a zombie and doing what he feels like is right is why he made that decision. Because, gotta remember, he still loves the hell out of Liv, and she's still a zombie. There's still that chance with Liv now.
That was my whole thought process when he did it. Other than, I'm like, okay, this makes... Because I literally said, like, oh, this already makes sense. His life's going down the shithole. The only place where he felt accepted was there. So it would make complete sense for him to go back and become a zombie. Yep. Then, of course, this is my second thought, was, oh, him and Liv can finally get back together.
There's always that chance still now.
Maybe finally she can... Well, this boyfriend didn't die. She just cheated on him.
I felt really bad. Because I saw his side and I saw her side. I was like, maybe it'll cool down.
Maybe this season.
No, not when he fucking, like, turns on her.
Oh, I saw that.
Right there, when he was, like, instant, like, bitch is here.
Yeah,
that was basically just like, damn, that was cold.
Yeah. Ooh. He knew why she was there, though. Like, she was snooping around. She's kind of on the opposite side of what he's working for. There's many different sides in this show, but she's like her own. Like, she's working to help the zombies, but she's also working to protect the humans, and like.
And at that point too, it's like, how much of this did Major know? Like, we don't know.
He was right in there with them. He was going through the hospital, scratching people. Like, he was in it.
No, that was the end.
Well, I know, but
I'm talking about tampering and putting the blood into the vaccination. How much of that did Major know?
Well,
We don't know. We didn't see him.
Graves literally turned to him and was like, "Are you ready to do what's going to happen?" And he's just like, accepted.
He was probably filled in right then and there.
Could have been, but we still don't know for sure if he was.
I'm sure he's filled in now, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he had to take pot shots at a riot.
But it does matter in the scheme of things because it's gonna come down to his morality. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that too.
I mean, you could even see, like, at that one point when I was just mentioning, like, there was that horde of humans running at the small group of people dispensing out the brains, and they're running at them with guns and pitchforks and shovels and knives and whatever they could freaking get their hands on, and they're like, "We don't want to hurt you," and they did warning shots, and then they ended up having to call on to shoot them down because.
And you can see Major wasn't thrilled with that either, but he had to.
No.
You know.
It was but
though. It's protecting. It's at that point it was.
Yeah.
Self-defense.
Protecting some people. So I mean, it's kind of a riot. In a riot, what do? I mean, yes, you try to subdue them. That's in one thing, but they're out for blood.
Yep.
So it's the result.
Yep.
So
everything kind of tied together nicely in a bow. We found out the whole thing, with Carrie Gold, how she was tied in it. She was the one pulling on the strings in the background. She was the reason why some of these cases were lingering and stretching out over episodes and episodes and episodes. Yep. But that whole dominatrix side plot still doesn't really fit very well for me into all this. Like, I get it. I understand the purpose of it. It just still seems pigeonholed compared to...
I still think there was other people on that video that wasn't just the mayor. I think there was other people on there as well.
Oh yeah.
That caused a ruckus. That I think she saw there was involved. There's too much stuff. And we know obviously she wasn't a zombie herself.
Yeah.
But we know for sure. Obviously the mayor went to her, so that's one zombie. It can't say that there wasn't any others. There's just anything. Who knows?
I just expected a bigger tie to the final goal of the plot with that. Kind of like what we saw here with the dog and, tying in Carrie Gold with her daughter Patrice, and all that. I expected a bigger tie-in with the dominatrix plotline, and there was not. So I'm a little disappointed on that. But overall, I think
actually that was tied up because they found the thumb drive. And they got the information from the USB drive. I think that was the tie right there because they got that.
The whole reason they got on this case was the flight with Caddy Cups,
it's because the disease and
that's how they got onto this trail. The dominatrix didn't tie into that. Dominatrix tied into the mayor plot, but that wasn't really tied into this plot.
Well, no. She attached it to his daughter. Attached it to the Graves thing because they turned her into a zombie, so they had leverage over him to steal the thumb drive, and he accidentally killed her. That much we knew. Yeah. And then to cover that up, they killed him, and then they killed the guard, and it was just this long straining of cover up.
Yeah,
but
it just felt very pigeonholed in. It didn't.
The way I see it is maybe it was because of the mayor, because they wanted to keep a zombie mayor into just in case the situation that happened.
And I always confuse, for whatever reason, the mayor and the reporter Johnny Frost. I always confuse the two of them. I don't know why.
They're actually very similar.
They are very similar.
Yeah,
in looks and in characters, they're both pompous.
And now they're both zombies. So
yeah.
But I thought that was hysterical watching Johnny Frost cover the flu shot. I thought that was hysterical. And he just cuts the whole line. And he's like, "I'm doing this as a report. Here's your interview. Oh, look at this. Look at me get my shot." He really just didn't want to stand on that line. That's what that came down to. That was hysterical.
But the zombie part, it was the first time you ever see him actually be super serious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, at that point, everyone around him that got the vaccination, I believe, most of his crew was probably vaccinated at that point, because I know the producer was also sitting there, Graves came in and said, "You're one of us. Are you gonna listen?" No, pop. Um,
So they shot him
like,
like somewhere like random because they knew he wouldn't die.
yeah. Um, yeah, like that whole speech that, Liv's like, "Okay, here you go. Here's your brain tube," and oh man, it's just the whole reveal. The whole reveal of that was just, I saw it coming, but I didn't want to see it coming. Like it was,
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was,
it was crazy. Like the
it
whole like
was.
I was just like sitting there going.
Yeah.
yep.
Like,
I mean, Liv just went for it.
I
And
don't
then
know,
just,
like, I always envisioned Discovery Day never happening.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't think the show would go in that direction.
I felt like Fillmore Graves would get just wiped off the planet, and there'd be lingering zombies like Blaine and Liv, and Liv would go on her merry way helping Clive. But
Yeah.
no.
well, this definitely takes takes the show in like a big direction. I mean, I
It
Mhm.
think
does. And, like, I was initially just like, I'm not okay with this. And now I'm kind of like, this actually is interesting. Because it's
Yeah.
never been done before, and, like, I'm really excited about it. And so.
I think it definitely gives a big pull to the show. To be honest,
I mean, I think
I'm
they
excited for
wanted.
next season.
I think they wanted to get away from the the case a week or the brain of the week kind of thing, because they were kind of running out of different personalities. Really, I mean, it feels like that anyways. But like, I don't think they're going to be doing that next season at all, or maybe
I
once
think
or
they will.
twice.
There'll probably be a little bit because
Mhm.
I think they're still just they do it anyway. It's still like it's still the major part of the. No, I wouldn't say major part, but it's still the main base of the show.
It
So
still
I still
gives
see it
Liv that
happen.
step up over the people who are getting brain tubes, because she can
Right.
still see into things that have happened. So
So I do see it happening, but as we saw, the season became less and less a major part of the show. So I
Mhm.
see it being continue with that. It's becoming less and less as vital, because I think now we're giving a very much larger overarch of a story than just
well,
the brain of the week
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of
not
Yeah.
even just a larger overarch, a very like much more intense and like
Serious, yeah.
it's serious, and it's for me
Talking
it
about the
was
zombie apocalypse.
frightening.
We might have to deal with Liv, as Liv for a while, because I think it's going to be a little harder for Liv to just eat a brain and not
Yeah.
deal with the fact that everybody's looking for brains. Brains are kind of scarce. There's this whole brain card thing now where the brain has to get donated. What if the morgue
Mhm.
is dealing with all these brains now that are being donated and Liv can't eat them? Then we have to deal with Liv on brain tubes, where she's going to have her own feelings and things and no memory, no other people's memories and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Still living with different issues and different problems she's got going on in her actual life instead of dealing with other people's technical problems.
Right.
Mhm.
So that could be interesting. That could definitely be interesting.
I mean, reliving your situation with Major, reliving your situation with Jason, reliving. I am horrible, and for some reason, want to ship her in Graves right now. I know I'm bad. I'm horrible.
I'd rather
I
ship
don't
her
know.
with Johnny Frost, to be honest, and I can't
That's
stand
weird.
Johnny Frost.
That's true.
I hate Jace.
Yes.
I don't want any part of that.
You don't like Justin?
I didn't say anything about Justin.
But Graves.
Oh, Chase, yeah.
Yeah.
Graves. I don't know.
I don't know. It's his personality. I like him for some reason.
Well, he's a military, hard ass, but at the same time, like you see him this episode, he's trying to do it for the better of everyone, not just zombies, not just humans. So
He got a lot of smart ass. Like he's smart kind of smart ass.
And I'm
I think
curious
it's
what's going to go on with Blaine and the scratching post, because we got to see like this big dance number going on in the
That
scratching
was
post, and
hilarious.
everybody was loving these blue brain, thing. And then Blaine goes to Chase Grave, tries to offer a deal for brain acquisition and stuff, and Chase declines it, bans all his men from the bar, and we're left going, what's going to go on with Blaine, and we see, all of a sudden, the scratching post is like dead empty, and then the zombie apocalypse hits, and or I shouldn't say apocalypse, but Discovery Day hits, and all these other people are zombies, and now we see the scratching post thriving again.
Well, I think it's
because they
become
have-
like a drug Because
Yeah.
it's
They
gonna
have
be like
different, yeah,
tubes that are all
yeah, tubes that don't give you the extra, like, like he had the synchronized dancing brain this episode. Tubes where you
choreographer.
you don't get any of that. There's also the fact that Blaine has a different brain distribution, like he's getting from other countries, whereas Fillmore Graves is getting from America. So like there's two different sources there, and Blaine can do what he's doing right now because he's not working from America. Like
Right.
his brain source is not from America. So I mean, that's
Third world
probably,
country where there's more death.
yeah, getting it from Russia right now.
He said Russia. There was another thing in
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, there's a couple different places he was getting them from.
Yeah.
Was it Budapest or something? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I remember Russia being said, that's for sure. But I mean, yeah, Blaine has his shit figured out. He's gonna be fine. Scratching Post is gonna be fine.
Yep. Yep. I don't know. And then Babanaw's ex-girlfriend, the detective lady,
Oh
FBI
no.
lady. You know,
man.
she was working the case. She found Tanner, and the Clive goes in and punches Tanner in the face and shows her exactly what she was dealing with.
Well, that's not the reason why they broke up, and all this other crap. And it was like all of that with dirty laundry was cleared out, and it was like instant. Oh, why did I leave you?
It was
Why
like,
didn't you just tell me that?
This
in the
is
beginning,
why.
you
This is
jerk?
what was going on with the Chaos Killer, and like
Yep.
here's all of it, all the stuff that and then she ends up turning into a zombie herself. So
I hated that scene. I was just like, damn
I
it,
knew I
Clive.
knew it was gonna happen. The moment that he like walks out, I go, "Oh God, you left her at the front of the line."
yeah,
Mhm. We've been waiting for hours. Oh no. Oh no.
Shit. Yeah,
And
I
then
thought
you see
the
her
end scene with her was
dyeing
cute.
her hair with Clive at the end.
Yeah, because there was like an was it Chase's voice or was it
Yeah,
Johnny's
it was
voice where
Chase.
they
It
were
was
talking
Chase
about
the
how
whole-
like people can still live together. Zombies can still like live if you have a non-zombie family, you can still live with them. You can still love each other, and you just have to make sacrifices and
Well, they said
change a little bit.
they gave the whole acceptance thing. If you want to turn, you can turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Seems like they're trying to contain it to Seattle though.
I hope so.
So
But we know that there's lingering zombies everywhere, so breakouts are gonna happen, unfortunately.
mm-hmm.
Unless Seattle becomes like the zombie city, and they all decide to leave wherever they're at, and all go into Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know. But overall, I think this was actually a fantastic finale.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited to go into next season.
Oh, me too.
I mean, coming into this season from last
Well,
season's finale.
Jeez.
Sorry, I apologize. Last season's finale was really good too. So like coming into this season was very interesting because we found out about Fillmore Graves at the very end, and it's just like a military what, you guys been zombies how long? Oh my god, like they've been around almost as long as Liv, so it's longer.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so
no,
it's like
the same
about
time.
the same
I
time.
thought that was all the
Yeah.
same time. I thought it originated from the
Boat party.
the
Boat party.
the boat party, and
Yeah.
it came from all of that. Yeah.
Still want to
So-
know how the virus was created in the first place. Like,
Yeah,
Just the
actually, they
combination.
still kept that strong, like under wraps.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just the chemical combination of eating or
Max
drinking
Fraser
and the utopium that the
utopium.
jacked up utopium or whatever.
Yeah.
It was laced, but we still don't know what it was laced with.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So I still think there's a story there to tell.
Oh, of course there is.
And I hope we start exploring that in season 4. So
What if it was some accident, like not like an accident? What if it was like some chemical warfare that just ended up being
Yeah.
Yep.
there's another city that's full of zombies and no one knows, and they created it, and then
Yeah. So I think that's about it, though. You guys have anything else?
No, I'm just really excited for next season. I'm sad that I have to wait till next March.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
no shit. They literally that cliffhanger. I'm sitting here just going, that's it. Wait,
I mean, we do
what?
have to wait a long
What?
time, but I do like the format of the show better in the time slot and everything that it's in, so.
I agree.
And living in Robbie's like ending.
Yeah, that was crazy. But you know what? He had nobody else to test it on
Yeah.
other than himself. So, I mean, he already knew what he's getting into instead of somebody who had no idea.
And then the erg arg. Just like, don't be a dick.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. So, all in all, I think we're all really excited for next season. And until then, Kim, where can the people find you?
On Twitter at HUFFITY, PUFFITY.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
On Twitter as well at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. And you can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTVpodcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Till next time.
Bye-bye.
Later, Gators.
Arg. Arg.
Are you a pirate now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo ho,
Probably,
yo
that sound is probably like copyrighted.
A zombie life for me.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie pirates.
Zombie pirates. Wait.
That's been
That's
done,
movie.
hasn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. It's called it's called Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
No, those were skeletons.
Oh, they look.
They
They
have
still had.
zombie ones, like zombie-ish ones.
They still had flesh on them. They're zombies.
Zombies. They just don't eat brain.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole characteristic of zombies.
They're zombie-ish. They're zombies.
Mm-hmm.